We are back on MorningLine. With me is Paul Kenny, master mechanic, taking your phone calls. Just want to throw this out to you. This is just breaking right now. We bring it up, and Paul and I, look, we're both Titans fans, but in the midst of a horrible, awful season, Ken Wisenhunt, the head coach, was just fired. Titans. Mike Mularkey is now going to be taking over, at least in the interim, as they search for another, perhaps, head coach. I don't know if Mularkey, who I guess is an assistant coach under Wisenhunt, is going to take it over. Head coach, tight end coach now. But Ken Wisenhunt, not even 2 years after he was hired. And by the way, the Titans are going to have to eat the rest of his contract. He's, don't shed too many tears for Ken Wisenhunt. And think about it. I mean, he's coached 23 games. He's only won 3, I think, in that time. And he's going to walk away with several $1 million in his pocket and probably be picked up as an offensive coordinator somewhere else. But he's been fired. So I'd throw that your way.
And you heard it here first.
Yeah, at least
heard it here
if you're
first,
watching us, the Titans make a change. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. We'll go to Michelle. Michelle, good morning.
Morning, how you doing?
Good, Michelle.
Hey,
what can we do for you?
About two and a half weeks ago, I was going down the interstate, and this Yahoo had a 50-inch empty TV screen box in the back of his truck. It blew out, and I tried to avoid it, but couldn't. And it went all underneath my car. And it caught the right front wheel, and then it went underneath. Well, we called the police just in case there was damage. When I got home, I crawled underneath the car to look, check oil pan and all of that. Well, it's a 2015 Escape, and they now have protective things to cover your oil pan and stuff. I have now noticed that all of a sudden it's starting to pull to the left. Could this be associated with me running over the box? Because the box hit on the right wheel, but it come up under, completely under.
Right. Really should not. A cardboard box, even with all the styrofoam packing and everything, shouldn't be enough to make the change the alignment on that if it's pulling like that. I would take it to your local guy, a shop. Get somebody underneath it, check and make sure that you don't have, a brake line or something like that might have been damaged, just to be sure. And then, you may just need an alignment to get it tracking straight. The box shouldn't have caused that kind of a problem. But anytime you run over something, you have wheel speed sensors that are wires that are hanging up underneath there. You've got brake lines and stuff. Have somebody double check just to make sure.
Put it up and look.
Put it up in the air. Let's get a good flashlight and look it over real good just for your safety.
Let's go to Dot. Dot, good morning.
Good morning. I have a question about the sensor lights on the dash.
Yes, ma'am.
Mine lights up like a Christmas tree, but everybody tells me it's okay.
Isn't that great? So what are they for if that's the case? What lights are lighting up? All of them, or just the engine light?
Well, it shows that my tail light's out when it's not. That the engine light, sometimes that comes on and it's okay.
Okay, I've heard that, check engine light.
What kind of car, Dot?
Yeah, Dot, what kind of car do you drive?
1999 Camry Toyota.
So, okay, all right. The Camry.
150-something thousand miles on it.
Okay, so just barely broke in for a Camry.
Yeah, that's a good car.
Just starting out. The Camrys have trouble with their tail light sensors.
That's one of those.
Yeah, that's a common problem with those, and you got to replace the harness with the sensor and everything in the back. It's a big can of worms. So that's one of your issues with the lights. It's showing a light out and it's not. It's because of that sensor. As far as your check engine light, there's it's a total different circuit, total different system monitoring that. You may have an intermittent problem that's coming and going. And if you get it scanned, it should show a code in history, if not in active code. So that's something that you should be able to find out on that. And lots of times when one light comes on, like check engine light, it may also have an ABS light or something come on as a visual reminder, even though there's nothing wrong with that system. So the brake light thing's kind of just an annoying problem. You know, your brake lights and everything are probably functioning correctly. It's just the sensor that monitors it that's not. The check engine light, you got something kind of going on. Get that checked, get it just scanned out. That's a relatively simple procedure, and see if there's any intermittent code, something that's coming and going. This may be a repair for you on down the road.
Gotcha. Let's go to Louise. Hi, Louise. Are you there, Louise?
Good morning.
Well, she was there. Let's go to Monty. Hello, Monty.
Good morning.
Good morning, Monty. How can we help you?
I've got a couple of quick questions.
Okay.
I have a '88 Chevy pickup, and I use it around on the farm. And one evening, I run over a stump and broke the exhaust pipe loose from the exhaust manifold. And while I was taking it loose, the studs, the rusty studs, started breaking off on me. Wondering what to do about that. And I got a '90 model Geo tracker I use around the farm, and grandson was driving it and thought it run out of gas, but it wasn't. My son said it wasn't getting fire. Said it needed a coil. I put a coil on it. That didn't do it. I was wondering what to do about that.
Okay, on the broken exhaust manifold stud, you're going to have to drill that out and use an easy out and retap it. A real pain to do because you're drilling. You know, you got to have a good drill bit, and it's going to take you some time. And if you've drilled metal, you know what I'm talking about. The other option is to replace the manifold itself. But now, instead of drilling out one bolt, if that was rusted and broke, you're liable to have to drill out 2 or 3 because the bolts from the manifold into the block are probably not in much better shape. So you got your work cut out for you on that one. As far as the Geo tracker, if it's not getting spark, you've replaced the coil. You got to find out if it's the igniter, which is the part in the distributor that takes place of the old points. If that's bad, if it's got a tachometer, look and see if when you're cranking it over, if that tachometer's moving. You know, yeah, you're going to have to get into the ignition system on that because the thing that's triggering the coil probably isn't working. And usually, and I can't tell you 100% on that, usually that's built into the distributor. If you want to give me a call at the shop later, I can look up that vehicle specifically.
We'll have the info up at the end of the show for
and
you.
We'll see what we can find out for you on that. And I'll also find out if you got any deer on that big farm of yours.
Yeah, he wants to go hunting.
that you need removed.
Yeah, listen to you, man. You're shameless. All right. Hey, let's see. We've got 2 minutes. Let's see if we can squeeze in a quick question from David.
Right.
Go ahead, David.
Yes, thank you, Nick. Real quick question. I have a car that is E85 capable fuel to burn. I'd like to know if you could dispel a rumor if burning that fuel extensively would cause unusual internal wear.
Are you talking about ethanol? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay,
the
great
ethanol
question,
gas.
Great question.
A vehicle that is designed to use that should not have any kind of damage or more wear and tear or anything like that. You know, also it's going to depend on your regular maintenance too, you know, but that's the same on a gas or an E85. There is so many things about this E85, and it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. Some say I get better gas mileage, I get worse gas mileage, it performs better without it. You know, the cars were designed for the E85. Basically, the fuel lines and the rubber parts are now plastic and Teflon because the rubber parts couldn't take the alcohol. You know,
now, isn't there ethanol in a lot of fuels now? See,
up to 10%.
So if I have a car that's not E85 approved, it's an older truck or something, or my Miata, and you pull it in there, and I don't even notice when I go up there, but sometimes there'll be a sign that says this contains up to 10%.
Up to 10%.
Do I need to look for a place that has no ethanol in the fuel, or that's a pain?
You're not going to find it, and if you do, it's going to be $2 higher a gallon.
Okay, I didn't even know if that exists.
And the reason for that is a lot of the people with lawn equipment need non-ethanol gas because it's rotting the plastic lines and stuff like that, the rubber lines down in the tank. So, yeah, you know, the whole program, you know, I think is more political than scientific.
There's something to do. You know what it was? It was something to do with all of our surplus corn.
Yeah.
That was it. You're wondering, why do we have ethanol? Because we have so much darn corn from the Midwest, and the government buys it up as surplus, and it's more than we can do to feed people with it all. What are we going to do with it? How much corn syrup do you really need?
Yeah.
All right, so they made gas in it and forced us to buy it and rot our engines, right?
See, the conspiracy is broken. You heard it here first. I knew there was something with the government in there, but no, it shouldn't hurt your vehicle. I've not seen any kind of warning or anything like that.
Paul, thank you so much for coming out. We're going to see you again soon because we didn't get to all the calls. I'll have the contact information for Paul right after this.
All right, thanks.
For over